started. But where do most of you guys sit? You guys sit kind of behind the scores table?
Yeah.
Did any of you guys catch a T-shirt tonight from the T-shirt cannon? I was really worried tonight about the bench, about our players getting pelted with the T-shirt cannon. I've noticed in the past that thing usually goes to the top of the arena. But I don't know who in the hell was running it. But
Actually,
yeah.
it was Jenny Dewar.
But when it's, you know, doesn't get over Gucci Row and the players' health is in jeopardy, it's a pretty good way to get the evening started. But we're all safe and sound, and we're here, and operator error. But yeah, tonight was another night. I felt like that we had concerns coming in. This is a team that took a really solid Bellarmine team and led most of the game. And they're a team that can really shoot it. We didn't achieve our goal. We wanted to try to keep them under 33s, and we knew that. It was a challenge in preparing for these guys a little bit because there's almost 5 guards literally on the court all the time, and we traditionally don't switch a lot, and yet they forced us to have to do some of those things. What a tale of 2 games for Trent Frazier. A game that a couple of nights ago he has 1 shot attempt in the first half, and literally was unbelievable on the defensive end, and then tonight gets it going offensively. So it's been really fun to see how his career is evolving, and nothing bothers him. He's still defensively dialed in, but obviously 6 guys in double figures, another 25 assists. I think it's 5 straight halves of 60% field goal percentage. You'll take that every night, and you know, now I think we found a rhythm. I think Doug Altenberger made a really good point just a minute ago on the radio that so much of our offense in the past has been predicated on our turnovers and forcing them, and now we're starting to play pretty good offense. We're starting to run good offense, and we're sharing the ball, and when we can play with that pace and that speed, it was fun to see tonight.
How valuable is it to get Kofi and Georgie in these games when they have these guards? When you get into a Big Ten season, they've got a guy like Reavers at Wisconsin, for example, who can really stretch the floor, having him be able to come out and guard in those situations.
Of everything that Kofi has done to this point, we knew that Georgie had really good feet, and Georgie sometimes plays a little cautiously in ball screens. The one thing that I've probably been the most impressed with is Kofi's ability to guard guards and his lateral quickness, and of course when he spreads out he's very big and he's hard to get around, and so yeah, I mean, especially here in these last 3 games we've seen a lot of smaller sized guys that he's had to guard that can really shoot it, and for the most part he's continuing to grow in that area, but he's done a heck of a job.
Brad, are you perhaps most excited by DeMonte's career high tonight out of anything, just given how you wanted to score more in the past?
Well, it's amazing that how good things come. DeMonte's worked really hard in the last few days getting shots up, coming in and I mean working on it, and you love to see that rewarded. And I didn't think he took one bad one. He took a runner late that had no chance, but other than that, it was everything was in rhythm. It was out of the offense. It was an extra pass from a teammate. So I felt great about that. I'm happy for him. The thing I'm really impressed with is the 10 free throw attempts. That's something that he can continually provide for our basketball team. A lot is getting to that foul line and putting pressure on the rim through the dribble drive.
I mean, since Monte was a guy that was already signed when you got here, I'm not sure how much of his high school play you saw, but So anyway, was that more, him offensively kind of before he got here a little bit?
I didn't see him a lot. And obviously, the ACL is senior season, but I think looking back at film and looking back at footage and talking to AU coaches and he's got the gamut. I wouldn't consider him ever going to be an elite jump shooter, but he's been an elite scorer, and the scorers know how to do that in offensive glass, free throw line, slash into the rim. And those are things that he did tonight. So he's very, very capable of all that.
Over this past week in these games, where do you just feel like you've learned the most out of your team?
Well, I tell you what I'm the happiest about, and I want to say maybe is the connectivity, if that's a word. I mean, I think it is. It's really nice to see. There was a possession in the first half where we drove baseline and made extra passes and continued to drive it 3 or 4 times. And our bench, there was a timeout, and our timeout huddle was so excited about that play. And that's sharing, and that's moving the basketball, and that's having a winning attitude, not a losing attitude, a winning attitude. Nobody cares who's getting it, and we've got guys who can go get it now. Tonight, Kofi probably could have scored at will, and yet it was a game where we got out and got running and got some easy baskets, and so I think we're becoming a well-rounded team that's been pretty connected.
Brad, when you recruited Georgie, he was a Thor and was able to do a lot on the perimeter. As a coach, was it tough for you out of necessity to kind of have to put him in the post last year? I mean, does it feel better to get back to what you saw when you recruited him?
Well, I think Georgie's a good player, and I think wherever we had to put him, he was gonna make hay, and just like tonight. Tonight was a matchup, and we went right at it early with 3 straight post ups, and Georgie gets a couple buckets. We're never going to run very far from that, but yet knowing that he can dribble the basketball, and he's becoming very comfortable shooting it. So we're going to take advantage of a good player and put him where he can be successful.
Kofi had a play, he was posting up, TJ Crockett had 11 inches on him, but he kicks it out for an open 3 to Io. You were pretty pleased with that. Is that a play he has to make a month from now when he's posting up John Teskey, or in 10 days?
Well, I hope he turns around and dunks it, but no, I think the one thing that we it's an unselfish play. It's a play that there's no right or wrong play there. If he turns around and scores it, everybody says, well, he should have posted up a guard. He made a really unselfish play, and he did it so instinctive. It was just like, oh man, my guy's open, and he just put it on it, and Io knocks it down, so it becomes a great play. And circumstances are one. I hope he makes that play 9 out of 10 times, to be honest.
You guys now have back-to-back games where you're scoring 100-plus points. Is that kind of a goal that you set at the beginning, or is it more of a result that happens?
It's just a result. It's just a result. And I think it's been a culmination of a better offense, and we finally started making a few shots and playing the right way, to be very honest. But I'm a realist. I know that's not going to continue as we move forward.
Brad, I know you're talking about playing the right way, talking about doing your fast break within 7 seconds of the shot clock. Is this kind of the speed you guys want to play?
When we get defensive rebounds, absolutely. I mean, it gives us an opportunity, and again, I think that's one of the changes. Last year we did it off turnovers. This year we're able to do it more off of not just turnovers, but defensive rebounding and being able to push, and we've got bigs who can run, and we've got maybe 3 of the better guards in the country in the open court. So you know, we're comfortable with that pace.
With Alan Griffin not playing tonight, was that just the result of being late for the shoot-around?
33 years of always doing the same thing. And it's my deal, and every coach I've ever been a part of, and as I told him, I love him to death, and if it was the national championship game, it would be the same result. If it was whatever, and I don't have a ton of rules, one of them is be on time. And that's always been the consequence, and lesson learned, and he'll be at practice at 10 o'clock tomorrow, and I've got a really short memory, and we move on.
4 games in 9 days. What's the approach now with recovery and then also getting prepared for big matchup on Monday?
Get better. Get better. The one thing that I've really challenged our players with is one, I mean, we're going to practice tomorrow, we're going to cover some things, and then Thursday's off for us. But I want our team to get better, every individual to get better at one thing. And just one. Let's not overcomplicate it, let's get better at one thing. And it's an opportunity for us to continue to grow what we're doing offensively. We've still got some things that we'd like to add and continue to work on. Defensively, you know, we've got to clean a few things up. But that's it. It's time to get better, and you know, we got the 3 M's coming up, so those are great challenges. 2 of them Big Ten games.
What'd you think of Jermaine's minutes tonight as he gets more chance on the court, just become more acclimated with things?
Yeah, I'm a huge Jermaine fan. I'm a huge Jermaine fan. People have no idea how athletic he is. I mean, he had a couple terrific blocks. He's going to be an elite shot blocker to this university before it's over. And you know, he's continuing to expand. I thought he rushed a couple free throw attempts, but his ability on the defensive end is pretty special. And you know, he gets to that right shoulder and that little jump hook, and he's good with that. So his offensive game will continue to grow, but I'm a big Jermaine fan.
I have a question. As you're kind of transitioning down the schedule, and you're moving into some harder challenges in the future, you've had an opportunity to look at everybody pretty much in the last couple of games, which has been good. How is your focus going to change? I know you don't want to telegraph anything, but how is your focus going to change going forward, and are you going to look at things? I mean, is there certain things you want to look at now going into this part of the schedule? You
know, I think we've got a pretty good sample size of some things. I think, you know, what are we, 5-1? No, what are we? 6-1. So I think we've got a decent sample size of analytics, things we can look at, things we like. But I'm also a feel guy, and you know, every game's different. It brings a different situation. But I'm a lot more comfortable. You know, I feel better about Ben. I feel better about Jermaine. I feel I like the progress the 3 guys, the 3 guards, the 3 little ones as we call them, have made. I feel great about you know, Alan's performance in the last game out, and now DeMonte. So, you know, you're feeling trustworthy as a coach in your guys, and that's a good feeling. Thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, and don't eat too much. Glad you're alive from the cannon. Very poorly. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Jenny.
Great work up here.
Thank you.
James' final performance.
Are you ready?
Any words of wisdom for us?
Avoid